It's important to be in the know on what's hot in the world of tech. And joining me now is tech gadget reporter Steve Greenberg, fresh off the press over at CES. Steve, I know there was a lot of exciting things, and I'm excited to learn more about them. How are you?
Great. Thanks for having me on, Blake. I appreciate it. And yeah, CES was crazy, crazy. I mean, we're talking like 140,000 attendees, so it's a lot of people.
Yes, a lot of people. Okay, so there's a few gadgets that we're going to spotlight today. And here's the thing. First up, there's this vacuum cleaner that is so fascinating to me because when we think about household chores, we always want things to be more convenient. So tell me about this.
Well, this is from a company called Roborock, and it's their Saros Z70, and it's a robotic vacuum and mop, and it has AI in it, which, by the way, almost everything at CES had some degree of AI in it. And this one has what's unique about it, it has a mechanical arm called OmniGrip. So as it's cleaning the floor, as it comes up against a sock, a dog toy, a sandal, underwear, the arm comes out, grabs it, moves it out of the way. You can actually program it to put it into an area where all the dog toys are or whatever. It can learn all that as well, and it cleans up the area. So instead of going around the dog toy or around the sock or whatnot, it will pick it up and put it in the right place and continue with its task. So it kind of turns the robotic vacuum mop into a personal assistant as well as a cleaning tool in the house.
That sounds like something I need right now. I'm going to add to cart after this interview. Now, Steve, here's the thing. Winter is alive and well across the country right now, but it's never too early to start thinking about summer. And I know that there's this one of a kind pool cleaner that you got to see at CES. So tell me about it.
This was really cool. Also, again, with AI, it's from a company called Beatbot, and it's their AquaSense 2 Ultra. So this is AI in a pool cleaner, and it's also a 5-in-1 pool cleaner, meaning it cleans the pool's floor, walls, the water line, the water surface, and even purifies the water. But after it finishes that initial cleaning of the pool, it uses AI to scan the whole pool and then goes after areas where it sees mist debris. So it goes back and then it learns that those are areas that it has to work on harder in the future. So it's a whole combination of getting better at what it does through AI. And again, it's about having a clean pool.
Yeah, a good, clean pool, right? So for those of you that are out there, check into that. You've got a couple months before summer's here to get those pools ready. Now, see, this next gadget that I'm really impressed by, mostly because of its accessible features. So tell me about this smart cane.
So this is one of those products that could literally change the lives of 250 million visually impaired individuals. It's basically a cane. It's from a company called WeWalk, and it's their smart cane too. And it's basically a cane, and we've seen people visually impaired with a cane, which basically tells them what's going on the ground, like if there's a hole in the ground or a curb or whatnot. But this has sensors all up and down it. So it'll tell the visually impaired person if there's a tree branch hanging low or a sign or something else to be cautious of, not just the surface of the ground. Plus, it has built-in navigation and it knows the local stores. So you can say, take me to Starbucks, and it would literally give you the directions on how to get to Starbucks. And the reason it has all this technology is a company called TDK Tech, a Japanese company. They build all those sensors that are inside this cane, which is lightweight, looks like a traditional cane that you'd see with a visually impaired person. But this cane has so much technology in it, and it really could be a game changer for people who are visually impaired.
Yeah, and I love that that's where we're headed with technology, right? Is it's actually becoming a super valuable resource to improve people's lives, not just our phones and computers that we're using on our kind of everyday situations. Now, Steve, I'm always kind of contemplating, getting a new computer, what kind of computer is best for me. And the biggest thing I think about is mobility and convenience. And the Asus ZenBook is the perfect product. It's so legit. So I'm really excited to learn more about this one.
So I have it right here, so I can show you it right here in my hand. This
Perfect.
is the Asus ZenBook A14, and this is the world's lightest Copilot Plus PC. It weighs less than 2.5 pounds. It's super thin. I'll show you in a minute. It's got this great 14-inch OLED screen on it. The battery power running video is 32 hours. I'm gonna just close up to show you. It's super thin. It's so light, it almost feels like a fake computer you'd pick up at an open house or something. It's super lightweight. It has this Sur aluminum finish on all sides of it, which means it's not going to scratch or get smudged easily, which is kind of nice. But probably the best feature of all is the price. So a similar PC with similar specs would be between 12 and 1800. This, because it's Aces, starts at under 900. So you got a really great computer with some really great features, but at an amazing price point.
Yeah, well, and like you said, affordable but also convenient. I think that's something that a lot of us are looking for, especially when it comes to what technology we're going to purchase. Now, Steve, call me old school if you want, but I still use a manual toothbrush, and maybe it's time for something a little bit better. And I hear there's a way you may be able to help me.
Absolutely. So here it is in my hand right here. This is the Life In Wave titanium electric toothbrush. And I've been using electric toothbrush, but not this one. Now I've been using this one. Actually, Time Magazine gave it one of the best inventions of the year award. It has basically, it does two things at once, and that it vibrates at 66,000 sonic vibrations per minute. Let me see if I don't know how we can see that, but I'm going to try and show it to you. Plus, it has a built-in up and down motion built to it, so you can kind of see that as well. And those two things together means that it cleans teeth 6 times better than any other of the electric toothbrushes out there. It syncs to an app, so you can actually adjust all the settings on it. And on a full charge, and it has this really cool magnetic charge thing here. On a full charge, you can go 45 days without charging it again. So it's got a lot of great features. It's titanium, so it's always going to look just like this, which is one of the nice things about titanium. And it's quiet and it works really well. I've been using it. It's pretty cool from the folks at Life In.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like a must have in 2025. So I'm definitely going to have to look a little bit further into that. Steve, finally, the smart voice wall plug. What's to know about this?
Okay, well, this company called Emerson, and if you're of my vintage, when I was in third grade, my alarm clock radio was an Emerson. It's been around for a long time. They're actually the first company to actually have a phonograph and a radio combined. So back in the 1924 or something. So it's been around for a long time. This little device right here is one of theirs, and this is their smart voice wall plug. And let me see if I can show you how it works. Hey, Emerson, lights on. Hey, Emerson, lights off. It works. So what's not turning a light on and off isn't the cool feature. What's really cool about it is it does it without Wi-Fi, without a hub, without an app. It's basically built into it. And most older folks, for example, the thing they most complain about is the setup. And even younger folks too. Nobody likes the setup of syncing the app and your Wi-Fi and all that stuff to a product. None of that exists. If your Wi-Fi went out in the house, it would still work. The voice control element still works. It usually works better than it did just now, but it usually works really flawlessly. And the folks at Emerson, which have been around for more than 100 years, have come up with it. So some old companies are still coming up with innovation, which I think is kind of cool as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a product we all need to have within our homes. Now, Steve, how can people keep up with you and, look more into all these amazing products that you shared today?
Absolutely. Well, anything I talked about here and more, if you go to stevegreenberg.tv and click on my blog and go to that top blog, which is all about CES, you'll see all of the information I've talked about and more. Also, if you love new products and you want to follow my game show, check out What the Heck Is That? If you go to gadgetgameshow.com, and it'll take you to all the video. I have about 90 something episodes where you get introduced to a new gadget, and then you learn, then people try to guess what it is, and then ultimately, of course, I tell you what it is. So for 3 or 4 minutes, you kind of play along with us, and then you learn about a new gadget. So check out What the Heck Is That? Go to gadgetgameshow.com.
Yeah, what the heck is that? Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time this morning. So good learning about all this insight into this new technology. I'm going to have to go do all my research now. It was great catching up with you.
Same here. Take care, Blake. Thanks so much.